Hello, we're back again today with a new video about applying for U.S. citizenship. Today we're going to go over the N400 document checklist. These are the documents that you need to send with your N400 application for U.S. citizenship. Okay, so all applicants must send the following 3 items with their N400 application. So the first thing you want to do is send a photocopy of both sides of your permanent resident card. Okay, so both sides of your permanent resident card. If you lost your card, you are going to need to attach a photocopy of any other entry document or a photocopy of the receipt showing that you have filed Form I-90, which is the application to replace your permanent resident card. Okay, so that's number 1. Number 2, you will need to supply photographs. You want to provide 2 identical color photographs of yourself taken recently. Okay, the photographs must have a white to off-white background, be printed on thin paper with a glossy finish, and be unmounted and unretouched. The easiest thing to do, I find, is to go get passport photos at your local CVS or pharmacy store. They print them right there. That's the easiest thing to submit, and they are the right size, the 2x2. Your head must be bare unless contrary to your religious beliefs, and if your religion requires, oh my goodness, I can't speak today. If your religion requires you to wear a head covering, your facial features must still be exposed in the photo for purposes of identification. Okay, very important. Using a pencil or a felt pen, lightly print your name and A number on the back of the photos. Okay, you want to submit that. And number 3, everybody must submit the filing fee. And this is very important. You'll see why in a minute. You need a check or money order for the application fee and the biometric services fee, also known as the fingerprinting. Okay, so you want to write your A number on the back of the check or money order, and you may combine the fees into one check or money order. Make your check or money order payable to the U.S. Department of Homeland Security. And here's the important part. You have to double check the fees. Make sure that you double check the fees before you write that check or get the money order. Right now, today, the current total is $680. Okay, that's the $595 for the N400 application, and then the $85 for the fingerprints. Now, you do not have to pay for the fingerprints if you are 75 years old or older, or if you're filing under the military. Okay, this is important because the USCIS cannot accept a biometric service fee if you are not required to pay a biometric service fee. And then the USCIS will reject your form if you submit the incorrect fee, okay, or an incorrect payment method. Okay, so you don't want to submit more or less. You have to submit the exact amount. So you're going to use the following guidelines to pay for your application. You must pay for each application using a single payment method. Don't send a check and a money order, okay? Just, you can send 2 checks or 2 money orders, but not a combination. Use the same payment method for all the applications that are mailed together. And you must again submit all the fees in the exact amounts, okay? Do not mail cash. We should know that, right? Let's see. So payments by check or money order, you need to be drawn on a bank or financial institution within the U.S., okay, and be payable in U.S. currency. Make the checks or money orders payable to the U.S. Department of Homeland Security. Don't abbreviate. Okay, write out the whole thing, please. If you live outside the states, you're going to need to contact your embassy for instructions on how to pay. Okay, again, here you can double check the current filing fees. All right, just go to uscis.gov/N400, and there's a tab there that says filing fees, and it will give you the up to date. Okay, if you'd like to pay by credit card, you need to submit a form G1450. You can see that link, and you could pay your form by credit card, and then you'll put that form right on top of your whole application. Okay, so they know that you're going to be paying by credit card. All right, again, double check the filing fees, okay? And you can check online, or you can call the customer service center. All right, so that is for everybody. Those 3 things are for everyone, no matter what your case, right? But the next slides are specific to each particular case. So if something pertains to you, just pause the video and read the slide carefully, because I'm not going to read every slide because there's just too many. So if you see something that pertains to you, read it very carefully, and then go ahead and ask me any questions or, to clarify. All right. Also, please send copies of anything unless it asks for an original. All right, let's get started. So if you have ever been married, please send with your N400 application a photocopy of your current legal marital status document. Okay. If you were married before, you need to make sure that you have proof that all earlier marriages have ended, whether it was divorce, annulment, or death certificate. Right? If your current legal name is different from the name on your permanent resident card, you need to send evidence that it was changed, that it was legally changed. Okay? If you are applying on the basis of marriage to a U.S. citizen, there's 4 items that you need to send. Right? One would be evidence that your spouse has been a U.S. citizen for the last 3 years, your current marriage certificate, proof of termination of all prior marriages, and documents referring to you and your spouse. Okay. If you have a dependent spouse or children that do not live with you currently, you need to send government documents, court or government document order that you're providing financial support, okay, and evidence of your financial support. If you have taken any trip outside the U.S. that lasted 6 months or more since becoming a permanent resident, you will need to provide evidence that you continue to have ties with the U.S. That's very important, okay? And there's examples of what you would need to send. If you have ever failed to file an income tax return since you became a lawful permanent resident, okay, even if you didn't need to, you still need to submit evidence that you didn't need to. So all correspondence, you want to send all correspondence with the IRS regarding your failure to file. Okay, and you can look at irs.gov. They have an extensive website, and there's even a portion that says, do I need to file a tax return? And you could go back and click on a certain date, click on a certain year, and answer the questions, and it'll let you know for sure. Okay. If you have any federal, state, or local taxes that are overdue, you want to send documentation. So see below. Okay. And you can obtain the tax documents very easily by right there on irs.gov. Okay. If you are applying for a disability exception to the testing requirement, disability exemption to the testing requirements, okay, there is a form for that, and that will need to be an original. Okay, that is Form N648. Right. If you did not register with the Selective Service and you are male, you're 26 years old or older, and you lived in the United States in a status other than as a lawful non-immigrant between the ages of 18 and 26, you're going to need to send a status information letter. Okay, and you can see below how to go about getting that letter. Right. If an attorney or accredited representative is acting on your behalf, you need to send a form with your N400 for that so that they know someone else is acting on your behalf. That's Form G-28, G28. All right, documents for military personnel or spouses of military personnel to send with the N400. Okay, these are some original forms. It's Form N-426. And also, if you go to uscis.gov/military, that's going to give you a lot of information about the military requirements, okay? All right. If you have ever been arrested, these are a lot of originals, okay? If you have ever been arrested or detained by any law enforcement officer for any reason and no charges were filed, just need to send an original official statement, okay? If you have ever been arrested or detained by any law enforcement officer for any reason and charges were filed, you need to send an original or court-certified copy of the complete arrest record. Okay, so you want to go through this. If you have any problems, if you have had any problems with the law, all right? If you've ever been convicted and placed in an alternative sentencing program or rehabilitation program, you want to send evidence and certified court copies of the sentencing record for each incident. If you have ever had any arrest or conviction vacated, set aside, sealed, expunged, or otherwise removed from your record, you will need to send evidence. Okay? And that's it. Okay, so those are the documents that you want to send with your N400 application. What we're going to do in the next video is go over which documents you will need to bring with you to the actual interview. Okay, so it's best to make sure you go over, make sure you send what you need to send with your application so it doesn't get delayed, right? And then we'll talk about what to bring with you to the interview. All right, thank you and have a great day.